Hello, everybody. Let's see. Already got 19 of you watching me awkwardly start this. Fantastic. Please leave a comment and make sure that shit's working. Let me know that I'm not being a complete idiot here. Would be much appreciated. I got it running on Time Fun and X, which I am now unbanned from, which is fantastic. And hopefully the audio is working. I always have I'm just terrified that my audio doesn't work for absolutely no reason. It should 100% work, but you never know. So let's just triple check that. I watch so many other people stream. Okay, working fine. I watch so many other people stream, and I'm like, they get 20 minutes in, and it's not working. Like the audio's not working, and it's like the most frustrating thing as a viewer. So, okay, cool. Thanks, guys. I'm streaming here on X, which I'm unbanned from. I would have done it on Monday had I guess I got unbanned on Monday. I kind of want to do this on Mondays and Wednesdays. I feel like it's a pretty good setup. I might try to do different times during the day so that I can get better coverage across everyone, across the globe. This is pretty late for Europe. It's basically in the middle of the night for people in like Middle East. And very, very early morning for Asia. So it's not necessarily the best time, but we'll move around and play with it. I saw a lot of really cool things come out of the last one that we did. I feel like once we did the second one, people were like, wait, I could vibe code something. And honestly, like this is very much my intent with what we're trying to build here is like, not only just show you Ethos and talk about Ethos and give you an idea of what like Ethos is all about, but teach people how to vibe code. We get people to be more confident even without any like robust technical skills to be able to like build things that they've always wanted to. I have a background of I think I took coding lessons in high school. So 2008, I was writing Java, and I was never very good at writing code. I have a technical background, but I'm not like a traditional like developer. And I've always wanted and felt really passionate about building stuff in general. I like to build things. I have sat down many times in my life in my free time wanting to go write code to make something happen and really have never felt like I could do that. And so me personally, like vibe coding has opened up the floodgates for creativity for me. My background again was in product. I was a product manager. I became a director of product and taught people how to do product management. So I was never the person writing the code. I was always the person helping people understand what we should build and why we should build it. And I always preface like it's really important to understand that this isn't necessarily replacing coding, but it is a really interesting and valuable creative outlet, particularly for anyone that feels like they've wanted to build stuff but not known how. That barrier of entry used to be just super high, and vibe coding has lowered that. And I want everyone to feel like they have a chance to participate. And even if you have zero background, I think that it's fun right now in the world of writing code. There's a lot that can happen. There's a lot of improvements that are happening. Even 6 months ago, we couldn't do some of the things that we do today. And it's just a fun time to be in tech again. It reminds me of like when I first got into it, I was writing PHP web apps and stuff, and that was forever ago. It's a fun time to be involved, and I really encourage anyone that has a little bit of extra free time to try this out. So I very much tried to like start this as something that is very approachable. If you're not familiar, the last few times that we've done this, we started with the last time we built basically this app. Where's the Ethos R for our Ethos there? We built this app together where you can come in here and search like Serpent XBT. I don't know. We never figured out the search, but you can come in and do all kinds of really cool things like analyze different types of data on Ethos. And I ended up kind of working more on it and adding some of these graphs and stuff. And like, there's just, we built some really cool things. And just to kind of show you where we're going with it, like this is 100% vibe coded. This is not something that I wrote any code for. And again, I want to help people understand that like stuff like this is very much possible. This is completely through prompts, just telling an app what to do and how to do it. What I want to do this time is start over again so we can give people a chance to come back on the journey and build something fresh. I've been asking people what they wanted to build. I always try to make it ethos based, but one day we'll probably slide something else in there. This time today, we're going to do something where we integrate with OpenAI or not OpenAI, but basically any LLM and look at reviews that happen on Ethos. So if you look at someone like Bread Guy here and you come and look at what have people said about him, how could we create these, like, I want to create like a spider graph. If you're not familiar with what a spider graph is, it's kind of this like, here are the like things that someone is good at. Let me see if I can make this look better. It shows like, oh, this person is good at, X, Y, and Z things. Things are scrolling up. And my thought process is now that we have all this data on Ethos, like we have a lot of qualitative data that people seem to skip over a lot. It's kind of like you get into this idea of like, oh, like the qualitative data is interesting, but not necessarily the main thing people look at, because they kind of come look at the scores and they're like, okay, cool, Bread, he's exemplary. He's number 1 on Fantasy Top, and he's number 4 on Top Yappers in terms of reputation. But like, there's actually a lot of context that is lost if you don't read. If you're not willing to spend the time to read what people say and come in here and say like, oh, wow, that's cool. Like Adam vouched for him, or Christian did, or oh, I know B-Check and Scorp. Like, that's really cool that, or even Win Moon here who came in and commented. Like, not only is there a lot of qualitative data, but there are ways that we could kind of bucket users together based on this. And so the general idea that I had that we were iterating on is like, could we take something like all of the reviews that have ever been received by Bread, so 338. Let's take all of those reviews, throw them into an LLM, and ask the LLM to categorize this person based on a bucket of a bunch of different buckets that we have that we might describe a person with. An example would be like a founder, or a degen, or a collab manager, or a trader, and see how, based on the reviews of what people say about them, how they map to that graph and how well do they map to that graph. And we're going to use a bunch of different tools to do that. And I'll talk through each one of them. One of the easiest ones that, if you've never worked with LLMs with before, a really easy way to interface with any LLM is this tool called OpenRouter. And OpenRouter actually allows us to basically not become too specific in our code about which LLM to use. It allows us to say, like, I want to use Gemini 2.5 Pro here, or I'd like to use Claude Sonnet there. It even has access to things like Grok, which Grok is actually Grok on the front end is really good at, like, on Twitter is really good at giving you information contextually about someone, but I haven't tried it through OpenRouter yet. So that could be one thing that we could play around with. So yeah, I want to create a spider graph and basically analyze a bunch of people's data. And I think we'll probably make it sort of similar, where you like type in a name like this and it does all the search, does all the analysis, and loads it and then displays it. And so my setup that I always use here and how I get started is, again, I have a fresh folder here that I just called it Ethos Spider Graph. You can barely see it up here. It's just a fresh folder with a fresh cursor instance. And again, the most important settings that we have up here to get this started is I always put it in agent mode, and I always have it in Claude 4. Claude 4 is by far the best model for vibe coding. It's only been out for maybe a month now. and I highly recommend it. I also learned some new tips from my CTO that I should have known, like the fact that you can have tabs and do multiple queries at once. So what I'm going to do is just start with a first prompt and kind of explain, and I'll type and talk at the same time and sound like a robot probably. I want to build a new project that looks at a user's Ethos profile, ingests all of the content about their reviews and vouchers, passes it off to an LLM to analyze it, and produce results of how well aligned that user is to certain predetermined categories um, that will ultimately manifest as a spider graph. To get started, so I always like to use TypeScript, Deno Fresh, and Deno Deploy as my kind of stack. You don't have to be prescriptive here. It might take you down the route of writing in Python, which I'm not as much of a fan of personally. So I always kind of say, you don't have to do this, but let's use TypeScript, will deploy eventually on Deno deploy, and shit, what was the other thing? The TypeScript Deno deploy. I think that's it. To build our stack. We'll also use Open Router to connect to the LLMs. One of the other things I always remind people is like, we want to start with really basic building blocks. Like, how do I get to like the next point? Like, I just want to have kind of like we have in the R for R one. I just want to get to the point where I have like a way to search the Ethos profile. Yeah, I wish I could make this bigger. I realize that it's kind of small. I don't really have any. Oh, there we go. There we go. Look at that. You can make it bigger. And so what I'd really like to do is kind of define this first iteration. To start, we'll have a homepage. Oh yeah, fresh was the other thing I was thinking of. To start, we'll have a home page where a user can query Ethos to pull all of the reviews and vouchers. The user will search via a type ahead. So again, the type ahead is just this thing. And again, we're going to use the Ethos API to do that because we're going to want to pull in, oh yeah, I think it's in the V1 API. We're going to want to pull in results from Ethos. We'll search via a type ahead using the Ethos API V1 search. So I will link the documentation. So those are all the developer docs from Ethos. It's under API V1. We're slowly moving everything over to V2, but for now, search is in V1. I can give it some additional context. Like I might take a screenshot of this. It should be good at like reading this page itself, but sometimes I like to just be sure and give it some additional context. So I'll like attach some images of the content with it. So I think we're good to go there. We're going to generate this and see how it starts coming out. I'm trying to read all of the chats. Oh, click three dots and open editor mode. I've never seen that. What is editor mode? I made it smaller. Oh, editor mode is just the chat, I guess. Oh, okay. Well, I'll try. Thanks for the comment. I'm also reading our Discord too. So, and then again on Time Fund, everything on Time Fund goes back to charity. There, I'm not trying to make any money on Time Fund, but I like Time Fund. So what you can see here is I'm just kind of sitting back, cracking my knuckles, watching things come together. I don't really have to know anything that's going on right now. If you're looking at this and you're like kind of intimidated, you're probably like, I don't really give a shit how this comes together. And that's a pretty fair thought. You don't need to, you don't really need to care about anything that's happening here. I am going to drag this down since you don't really need to see. That's fine. So what it's doing is it's going through and just setting up the framework of our app. Again, it's probably going to generate something that looks sort of like this. One thing that I have noticed that's pretty funny is like people are like that are vibe coding stuff. They tend to have the exact same products. Like the UI looks the same every time, unless you give it some like specificity on how you want it to look. But yeah, most of the apps are going to look very similar. As it continues to go through this, yeah, I'm going to eventually get to a point where I can preview it. I do want to look at some spider graphs and find a good one to use, and then start also thinking about different categories of how to think about users and how they might align with things. So if you have any ideas of like trader, degen, investor, founder, developer, like I need to get those categories kind of defined. So if you think of any, we'll probably have, I think probably 16 to 18 categories is just like my gut reaction. They're probably going to be similar to leaderboards. Like you've got, like a venture capital firm is kind of obvious, but like, again, really my thought here is like, if you go to like collab managers, I'm not super familiar with like collab managers as a skill or function or how they work, but you can come in here and you can see these people. And when you actually click into one of them, like let's click, let's try Jasic. Jasic. Sounds Polish, maybe. I don't know. You come in here and like look at all of the things that say like collab king, right? Like collab manager. Like there is qualitative evidence here that's suggesting I don't know what's going on with this. Where's my have I gotten myself? Oh, here's the chat. It's still working. This is kind of what I want to see. I want Collab Manager to basically show up in that spider graph, and then it will be one of the attributes. And like on this guy's example, you would see really high match for Collab Manager based on the fact that everyone has said that he's a collab manager, versus like, if no one has mentioned the word trader, as in trader, not like a traitor, not someone who is betraying someone, then it would be fascinating to be able to see that too. And one of the things that I get a lot of feedback on often is like, hey, when I go look at like some of these leaderboards, like, open the fridge, maybe not the best, like the absolute most skillful collab manager, or like Jamsey might not be the most skilled alpha caller. So how could we actually remodify this? It stopped at 25, so whenever resume here, it looks like it's almost done. How could we modify some of these leaderboards potentially to show how well those users match to that category even? And so if there's like a mismatch here where you come in here and you're like, I mean, like a good example would be like ICO Beast. I don't know that people like explicitly call him an alpha caller, but like he kind of unintentionally is. Like it would be really interesting to see how well he matches with that, and then his reflection on the leaderboard as it compares to like how well he matches. We could actually use that eventually. I don't want to say this, but then you said it anyways. But most collab managers are from a region you had beef with. There was no beef, just being super clear about things. No beef at all. Ethos is for everyone. Okay, so it seems like it's set the project up at least. We have the way to reach the Ethos API, which is great. It has a type ahead. It has a modern UI. Fancy. And it's basically telling me I can now go visit this site locally and go play around with it. So let's see, how well do we think we did? Didn't work at all. This is a good start for sure. Completely failed on the first try. I'm going to screenshot this, including like the page we're on, and say it broke. It's not working. Let's see what happens when I do that. It should be pretty good at fixing itself. Yeah, let's see. I can clearly see the error. I see the error. The error is clear and fresh. Use state can only be used in an island component. I feel like we had this last time. It will be interesting to see how. I'm surprised that it got it wrong in the first try. It usually doesn't do that. Usually it's pretty good at like not getting totally lost on the first one, but it is doing a lot of stuff to set that stuff up initially. But yeah, I was thinking about it more of like I will be really intrigued to see how some of this comes together. Like if you look at Resang as another example, like she's number one on artists and number three on angel investors. But like, is she known for being an angel investor? Is she known for being an artist? Like she does do angel investments and she is an artist. And I think we're getting into a weird spot with Ethos overall, where people kind of like conflating these two concepts of like skill-based leaderboard versus reputation-based leaderboard. And I very much view it as more of a reputation thing than skill. However, again, I think this can help. Of course, this would be very hackable. Like someone could be like, I want to be a collab manager. Therefore, I want you to write, like go ask people to write 500 collab manager reviews for them. And it would kind of mess the data up, but we've got to basically get started somewhere. And let's see. Okay, so it seems like it's convinced. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, it already fixed it. So again, like it looks very similar to the last one that we had. It's just not in dark mode. I think it started in this color too, but it's like, oh, I'm gonna like this is the generic website. This is what a generic website looks like. Here are 3 things that it does. Let's see how well it does at searching for people. So Serpent XBT. Okay, pretty similar. How does it? I don't know how it has the context of pulling in the score. It's not quite right. I think it's really our search API, to be honest. Why don't we try someone like Resing? If you do the exact match, it never works. Okay. So now it has, I mean, like, again, this is 100% prompted, right? I did not write anything. It is pulling information from the Ethos API, allowing me to select a user and then click analyze profile and generate spider graph. So, yep, it's like, hey, you haven't done that part yet. So, okay, the search works great. Now we need to get all reviews and vouchers from the API, from the Ethos API. And we will then pass that over to OpenRouter and allow one of the models to analyze the results. There's a few things I'm going to prompt in here. I'm going to say we can use the activities API on, we can use the activities API from Ethos, which will allow us to see to get reviews and vouchers for the specific user we searched. I think we can use the bulk API. Yeah, so I'm going to send it this screenshot. This is right. We can use this bulk API to get, but let's ensure we are just getting reviews and vouchers. After we have that loaded, we'll want to call OpenRouter and pass all of that over to an LLM. Once we pass it, I am going to add a little bit more because there's a few things that kind of make up this block that makes this block of stuff a little bit, it's a little fatter of a block than I would normally do. Once we pass it over to the LLM, included with passing it to the LLM, we'll want to provide a prompt to the LLM so that follow along the lines of, I want you to categorize, I want you to generate a list, look at all of these reviews and vouchers, and identify how well you think this user matches up to certain categories that we define. The categories are descriptions of a user's or are traits of a user as described by their peers. We will provide a list of categories and you will return your confidence level of how well that user matches to each of the categories. Something like, as an example, degen, yeah, 90% or something, 0.9. Category confidence. We need a separate file to manage what the categories and prompts is so that we can easily update that. One thing that I did think about here is I actually really want the weighting of both vouches and who it came from to be more impactful to the confidence of this algorithm. And so when I think about resaying, and if people are saying she's smart and real, if she's a hard worker or an advisor, whatever, if someone with a lot of reputation says that or has put money on the line says that, that should mean a lot more than like, you know, if I go to new and I see this person that's written, you know, I don't know where, like, yeah, I mean, like this person literally wrote that resaying is a guy. This should not really be accounted for, in my opinion. So what I'm going to update this is going to be a really long prompt, and I'm sorry that we might have to sit here and watch it for a second. We want to ensure that we are also passing over the score of the user that wrote the review and the amount vouched for it if it was a vouch. The score of the user that wrote the review. This is kind of showing how open-ended you can be, honestly, with things. Like I am kind of describing exactly how to do it, but it's still open-ended in the sense of like, I don't even know how I would implement this, to be honest. I want you to look at all these reviews. Yeah, right. I'm gonna just kind of quote this. These should be reviews and vouches from people with higher ethos scores should be taken into account more. Reviews and vouches from users who are around 1200 should be minimal, while ones from 2000 plus should be much higher. Vouchers should be taken into account even more. Okay. Also, I want to make the confidence. I want to make the review vouch multiplier for how much it impacts the confidence to be adjustable in a file as well. Okay, so that's a lot. There's also a lot that's going to be happening on the back end there. I'm going to go get an open router key on another screen that you guys can't see, and I'll put it in the ENV that you also hopefully won't see. I did pretty bad at sharing my ENVs. I will put a, I'll put like a max of $10 on the key or something, just to be sure. I'm going to create a key called, what are we calling this? Spider graph. And I'm going to put $10 on it just in case anyone tries to steal from me. I'm going to leave that open. So on the right here, again, I'm going through like a pretty big thing. Need a script that gives people XP who engage with you. Yeah, we could vibe code that eventually. It could happen. What was I gonna say? so we're letting a bunch of stuff happen on the right here. It is actually taking into account API v2, which is good. And again, like he might be looking at some of these things and being like, wait, how did he know to say those things? I don't get it. Like, you don't have to be as descriptive as I'm being. I'm kind of trying to take some shortcuts and be a little bit more descriptive in how to do it because it just helps save time. I want to make this entertaining. Okay, what does this one say? I use the bolt for designing UX and then import it to cursor backend and other complicated stuff. I don't know what the bolt is. I really tend, like when I'm building stuff like this, I tend to not care very much about UI or UX because I'm like, it's just kind of like a little tool or a jig to build something. It's funny because I got some feedback really early on of like, you guys built this validate.ethos.network thing and it looks nothing like your other apps and it looks like crap. And you're like, yeah, fair. It was vibe coded to be clear. But like, you're really, when I think about like something like this review for review analyzer as an example that we did last time, really all you're trying to do is like, God, it's so funny that the search works like that. All you're really trying to do is prove using the data that you can do something, learn as much as you can by building it. And so like in here, like, yeah, there's loads of stuff that doesn't work well with the UI. Like, I feel like this UI looks weird as hell. Like, you've got extra 2 lines here and like the colors are all wonky and like, yeah, I mean, these are actually pretty cool. And yeah, it's just not great UI, but like that, like the point is like getting to a point of functionality over form. So, okay, here's another good one. If you implement this system, you should also run a retroactive update so that users who vouched or reviewed others in the past also get their impact counted. Users, you should also run a retroactive update so users who reviewed others in the past also get their impact counted. I don't quite understand what you're saying, actually. The way that I was thinking about it is that if you have a high score, you would change. I guess like if you implement the system, you should also run a retroactive update. Yeah, I actually don't quite understand what you're saying there, unfortunately. I very much view the like scores being something that happens in real time. Hey, look, it worked that time. I had this problem last time I made one too, which is funny. Of like the type ahead just kind of stays open. It's annoying. Teal'c Bro says how to farm airdrop. Of course. I don't know that that's definitely what he said it at. Okay, so I wanted to get some good test examples going too of like people I want to try this out on because I'm not exactly like someone that doesn't have a whole lot of reviews so that we can test a little bit more easily. Again, we're doing a lot of magic here, so it's gonna be kind of tough to like show you guys how we get there. I'm gonna like maybe try like Publius. Publius has a lot of good reviews on his profile. Kendo Discord. I feel like if you get an upvote that's positive on your own profile, it should show up higher or something. Okay, so it's starting to finally get to the point. I think it's getting close. We got to the README. That's usually a good sign. Cool. So it thinks that it's updated at least. Looks like it's really only looking at 1,200 and 2,000, which is probably not accurate. It is telling me though that I need to use my OpenAI key. I'm going to create a new file called .env here. If you're not familiar with .env or what the point is, like you can always ask Cursor, like, why do I need to create a .env? It actually is basically giving you exactly what it needs to be. Really, what I need to do is just give it the OpenAI key. In Open Router, in another window, I have this UI open that has the key. I don't want to show you guys that key unless you guys want to steal $10 from me. And that's no fun. So I moved it off screen for a second. I've updated the key. So now it should be able to connect to Open Router. So let's give it a try. Let's see what happens. We haven't decided how to do a spider graph though. So I don't know that it knows to do that. It uses Claude 3.5. Vouchers are weighted 2x more than reviews. Yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, so here are the categories that it created. That's kind of cool. It created its own categories. How can I edit the categories? Again, if you guys have ideas on what categories to do, I mean, I can come up with some, but maybe, yeah, it looks like the categories might be in here somewhere. Let's go back to our chat. Where's our chat, damn it? Huh. What happened to my chat? What? Probably being stupid here. Oh, here it is. Okay, so to add new categories, it says we just need to go to categories in config. Okay, cool. Okay, so the categories I'm going to do, I feel like degen, builder. I think I might change thought leader to like KOL or just influencer. I feel like DeFi expert is actually probably pretty good. I don't think a lot of people identify as that on Ethos. So I'll add that one in there as well. We'll do DeFi expert. Or just like, yeah, just DeFi. We could just do DeFi. Yeah, deep knowledge. Cool. Security minded or educator. Okay, so I'm just trying to think off the top of my head what some of the other ones that come to mind are. I would say, yeah, degen, collab manager. So on collab manager, what is the like collab manager definition? Not listings, leaderboard. Collab manager. Meet the trusted. I can't copy it. Damn it. I don't know. How would you describe collab manager? Trusted connectors driving top tier partnerships and community collabs across the Web3 ecosystem. BDs and partnerships. Yeah, stop cheating, vibe coding only. I'm not cheating. I mean, I could, I guess. I'm just like editing some text, right? You're right. I could easily put this in there. I feel like, yeah, biz dev could be one, business development. Okay, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna change it back to vibe coding. Okay, let's add some more categories. Can you create the descriptions? So we'll do founders, business development. We can do artists was one of them, right? Hmm. Marketers. I guess it's more like roles, more. Yeah. Oh, alpha colors. Um, Developers. Hmm. If you guys think of any more, let me know. But we can start with these. and keep going because I might need to like look at people's profiles and say like, okay, what are people saying? Yeah, KOL manager. I still had never heard of that, to be honest. Um, I guess it's like a business manager for KOLs. Okay, so yeah, I was editing code. Buzz kept me honest here. Yeah, airdrop farmers. There you go. That's a good one. Yeah, farmers. So we'll do KOL managers and farmers. What is like I don't know. What are some of their attributes? Okay. Also add farmers. Airdrop. Um, DevRels. DevRel probably has pretty low overlap. Um, what's the other one? Shit posters. Yeah. Shit. We could just do a reply guy. Or yeah. Like a reply guy. I guess kind of like a reply guy, someone who uses Twitter a lot. What's the other one that I had? I just thought of it. Oh yeah, KOL managers. Someone who manages influencers, acts as their business partner kind of thing. The other thing I wanted to see is what kind of graph did we want to use? Nevo spider graph. We could probably use like, yeah, radar chart. I like Nevo graphs. I don't know if you guys have ever used them before. I'm not going to ask it to do the Nevo chart yet because I really wanted to just put it in a table so we can see how good the like results are to start. By the way, I have a stream in 45 minutes with Thread Guy. So you guys can hop over there once we get there. Okay, cool. So farmers, reviews mentioning always getting airdrops, great at finding opportunities, maximizes yields, shit posters, very active on Twitter, engages with everyone, great at social media. I actually kind of like, I'm glad Buzz got me to get back to vibe code again because you're like, I'm not good at writing that stuff perfectly. So it probably is better. Okay. Now, and are we creating the spider graphs yet? If not, art collector is good too. I'd like to art collector or like community member, just display the results in a simple table now so that I can analyze how good the prompt is doing. Also, I was going to show you guys something else. Like Ben taught me this. So yeah, Ethos agent doesn't work. Sorry, I forgot that I'm not in Discord. You can do new tab here if you hit this. Did I do that? Yeah. So I can say, I can do two at once and say, can we also add art collectors, community members? Yeah, rug pullers, scammers to the list. List of potential categories that users might get matched up to. Okay, so I now have two chats running, which is nice. They also did just ship, they shipped the ability to do it from your phone, and I've not tried it yet, but it sounds pretty compelling, like being able to just sit at your phone and vibe code. Like there are plenty of times I've wanted to try something. The problem is like you can't run the local code on your vibe coding machine, but if you have like a deploy set up, you could be pushing that out and actually going onto just the website on your phone and being able to see it very easily. Okay, cool. So it doesn't have all the context since I launched a new chat. So it doesn't have all like the history. And so it is struggling a little bit further because it has to like reorient itself a little bit. Nice. Okay, 14 custom guide. I do want to let it files be edited in another chat. There it goes. Okay, cool. Keep going, buddy. Scammers, individuals who engage in fraudulent activity. I mean, like you could add, uh, yeah. I hadn't thought about the negative things that you might be. Okay, so let's accept this and then let's go give it a try. Like we haven't touched the code in a while, which is always scary. Let's try someone maybe that doesn't have 100 reviews. Oh yeah, I was gonna do like, let me see like who's trending right now, hot today. DC Investor Prize a ton. Someone that I know that I feel like I can actually like confidently say I think it's doing a good job or not. Okay, let's try it. Let's try Publius. So we'll go back to, God damn it, a lot of things. We'll go back to here. We'll try Publius. I gotta fix that bug where it's doing that. It's annoying. Oh, it says no reviews or vouchers found. Okay, so there's two things that are bugging me. I noticed that when we do the search, after I select a user, it's opening the search again. This is what I just noticed in doing this. Oh, it didn't do it that time. Yeah, it like reopens it. So I want to fix that bug because it's pretty annoying. I'm also going to say that like, why is it saying there are no reviews for that person? Yeah, analysis failed is what it's saying. I have two working now. I have noticed that whenever we search for a user on, I might wait for this to finish actually, because this one has more context. This main chat window that I have, I probably should have flipped these, because now I'm going asynchronous. I have noticed that whenever I search for this user or whenever I try to hit analyze, it's showing that the user I selected has no Ethos reviews or vouchers. I know that's not true because I can see their profile. Is it possible we are hitting the wrong API to get that information? Cool. So it thinks that it fixed that. I'm going to go ahead and send the next fix to see if we can start fixing that. So if I type in refresh. Okay. Yeah, it's still doing it. Ah, that's annoying. Adding more readable logs. Yes, I agree. Usually Cursor writes some decent logs to start. Logs are always the like way for both you and Cursor to figure out if you're doing something wrong. You can see it's already starting to go down this route of wanting to do logs. Like if you see, it's like, hey, I'm gonna go start adding some debugging to see what's going on. I always ask it to, it'll do that pretty well for itself. It's going to the result. No, don't do that. I know better than to do that. So yeah, I'm gonna let's see what happens here. Also, welcome Kayodos. Let me know if you have any thoughts, questions, or curiosities about how this works. All right, let's see if I don't know why it switched through all, but let's give it a try. Let's try this guy. Okay, so what happened here? It looks like it's searched by his user address. Let's go into Ethos and make sure that that's that guy's address. Yeah, it's pulling the right address. But it's still not loading it correctly. So I'm gonna say it looks like we pulled the right address in, but I'm still not getting any results from the Ethos API. What is a log in this situation? A log is, yeah, it's like a report. It's like this thing right here. I don't know how easy or hard it is to see this log, but it's like it's like a like a check. It like says, okay, like this thing happened, and you get it to like produce lots of logs. It's like an audit report almost of like everything that's happening, but it requires that you actually like document those things. So adding logs is a really good way to help debug whenever you're stuck. I wonder what's going on with this. Why is it hitting all if profile / all does not necessarily seem right to me? I think we should use this API instead. I have attached a second image that gets activities by user key that I think is probably more correct. Can we pull that one in instead? But yeah, that's what a log is. Yeah, it's basically a report. And sometimes you'll say like, I am about to do this, I'm about to do that, and then it like helps you understand like at what point in each point of the code it calculated or processed something. And so logs are, yeah, it's how you understand what's going on, basically. Okay, so it's going to try our new API. I still don't know that like activities optimized, activities for notification, activities authored by a specific user. Oh, wait. There's one where they're the subject. I'll use this API instead. Wait, I found a better API to use. So there, I guess I don't know this because I don't know the Ethos API that well, but there is an API here that will allow us to get for a specific user just things that they have received. So this will be a more optimized API for us because instead of getting everything where we know we don't need everything, including given, we just want to get the ones that they've received. So I interrupted cursor. Basically, it was halfway through implementing something, and I'm like, no, wait, please stop. What is cool is you can actually test this stuff if you ever need to test something in the API, like documentation. You can come in here and pass it. Let's see if that works. Will it work? Or am I stupid? Send. It's not going to work. Probably because I just didn't do it right. You can always use that if you know what you're doing. Let's try this one. Do we have to pass anything to it? Send. Oh. It's an admin API. Okay, fine. What API did you find? Oh, dang it. Did I give it the wrong one? And the latest one received. No, I want get act. Yeah, right. You should use this API. I'm just going to copy this. And the response. There you go. So let's see what happens with this. I still think we could probably use this Nevo chart. I was hoping we'd have more magic earlier than an hour into it, but we're making some good progress. This Nevo chart looks like it would be pretty good, although we don't need 3 overlays. They have like 3 of these here. We really only need 1. I don't know how this is going to work with like 14 of them, but it's a pretty nice looking graph here. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, I'm thinking this will look nice. I can actually edit it. You can come in here and yeah, I think this will work. I kind of yeah, I really wanted to just get this part working. Let's see. Let's just use this account. Yeah, it's still not working. Okay, no reviews or vouchers for this user. So again, it's still having errors here. I'm still getting errors for profiles I know have reviews. I wish I knew why. I don't know if it has to do with user key. I'm just going to ask it. Can we provide some better logging here? Yeah, I'll show network in a second, so that we can see exactly what API we're hitting with what. I mean, I can do this myself. Let's go back in here. We'll go to inspect. I'll click on the network tab. So these are more like advanced kind of ways of understanding what's going on with your app. You could more depend on vibe coding here, but I'm going to clear this out. I'm going to type someone's name. I'll do this one. I'm going to clear it out again because I just want to just want to see what happens when I click. Okay, so it's hitting the activities API. It's hitting our own activities API. Why is it hitting our own activities API? I guess we have our own API, which is then calling the other API. Let's open up our local. Here we go. Wait, it has all the reviews in here. So that seems to be working. I do see in the Dino logs. So basically I have these logs here that are showing that we are getting the reviews, which is pretty nice. I do see in the Dino logs that we are getting reviews, but I'm still getting that error for some reason. I shouldn't need to copy this, but yeah. Oh, what? Stop. Continue revert. Okay, let's start it over again. Yeah, that's really interesting. So it's getting the reviews. It should have no issues pulling them in. Get out of here, man. Sometimes I have noticed that you'll be in a workflow and everything is going smoothly, and all of a sudden you look up and for whatever reason, it just slows down, like when you're generating new code. I don't know what. Okay, there we go. I see the issue from the logs. Yeah. So it thinks that it's working correctly. Problem is the code is checking for activity type, but I see from the logs, it's actually called type. Okay, cool. Wait, no, maybe it has hard-coded for the data and not really fetching them from the Ethos API. No, that's definitely, well, I mean, it could be hard-coded, but that was definitely like actual results. I recognize some of those reviews, or at least it should have been real ones. The TypeScript does not match. Oh, dang it, now it's gone. I'm going to try to make this bigger again just so you guys can see it a little bit better. Okay. Well, where's the magic, man? We're so close to the magic. It's like you're playing SimCity and you haven't hit play yet. Oh, now it's running on 8001. There you go. Okay, wait, does it think that it's fixed it? Okay. Yeah, see, so it is pulling it in. The API is working. Okay. So it thinks that it's working again. Let's try it out. Why does it keep giving the error? Oh, it says the open API key not configured. Okay, so it looks like now we're getting this issue, but I do have the open API key configured. Well, did I click save? Okay. Did I save it? Yeah, I did. Okay. In my .amb. Okay, let's keep trucking along. I know we can get this working in the next 30 minutes. Okay. So we got our chart that we want to use. We got everything lined up. It should be working like this. But yeah, here's like an example. You can say like, what do you think of serpent text? And let's just see what happens. It can kind of, this kind of shows off how it works. Let's see. No, I just wanted to try it. Damn it. Dang, look at the growth of that. Token usage across the board. So most this is cool because it shows that it's like a leaderboard of who's using each of these. Is Ethos Agent alive? No, Ethos Agent is down right now. It says it is definitely picking up your ENV because it's hidden from Claude. Yeah, but you can make Claude look at the ENV. But yeah, Ethos Agent is currently down right now. I don't know if he's gonna come back or not. We'll see. There's a few things that hinge on that. Oh yeah, look, it's saying that Dino doesn't automatically pull in the ENV. I feel like I remember that. I didn't know why I wouldn't auto configure that. It's like one of the most obvious things out there. Like if you are building something, you need the ENV. Damn it! It just put it on screen. Come on, cursor. You put. I mean, like you don't have the last couple of digits, I guess, there on my API key. Don't spend my API key credits, please. It's only $10. I don't want to get drained on the API key. I don't think you can though, because you only see like the first 24 of it. You guys are saying that you don't think it's an ENV issue. I mean, I think it is. I don't think that Dino was loading the ENV correctly. I'm not sure though. I could be wrong. Yeah, this site OpenRouter is super interesting. Like this is an objective way to like see who is paying because you have to pay to use them, but like an objective way to see like who is paying for what usage, and you can just see like if you click into like Claude 4, like it goes from like no usage. Let's see if we can zoom out. When did it? I guess this is when it started. Was May 22nd. Sounds about right. All right, cool. It's loading them in now. Oh, it already did it. Yeah, I just tested one. Look, community members, influencers, DeFi, DGen, Claude Manager. Sweet. So it used Claude 3.8.5, which is pretty cheap. It's nice, not too expensive. If you come in here, it'll tell you, I think, what each request costs or token costs. Okay, let's see. So they fixed all of it. So now I should be able to go in here and we'll restart this. I think it was on 8,000 now. No, not Pedro's account. Okay, let's type in Serpent. Let's just try this account. Yeah, that thing is driving me crazy. It worked. It worked. Okay, cool. Okay, so there's two things that I really want to fix. Here are the categories. Here's the confidence. It thinks I'm a founder and a builder, and it thinks I'm an influencer. Okay, cool. I mean, I don't think it's like the best and most comprehensive, but it's something to work with. Okay, so we're still having this issue where like the screen, we still have the issue where the screen, the type ahead is not going away once the user selects the person. That's driving me crazy. Hello, Turkey. It's got to be super late in Turkey. What time is it in Turkey? 2 a.m. Not too bad. It'll be fine. If you can't fix it, push to get and let us fix it. Yeah, right. I will put this on GitHub at least. But okay, so cool. So to be honest, oh cool, raw analysis. Oh, it's the same thing. So I don't know what average score is people that reviewed them. That's cool. So what's cool about this? So this is like an actual like alt account that I use that shouldn't have gotten many reviews on it. Let's like load this. It's this one. But I think I reviewed it. So yeah, someone said I'm an innovator. Dragos reviewed me as one of the top minds, and then I said this is an admin account. So yeah, I mean, like probably a pretty good job. It would be good to try something that has a little bit more people than that. A little bit more reviews than that. Why don't we? It probably won't be very good for like projects. Oh yeah, I guess Turkey's a big country. You might be on the east side of Turkey. Let's take like this. That's probably a good one. He has 226 reviews. Is there anyone that like it's maybe a little let's just listen to use Buzz. Oh, can the devs fix search? So slow. All right, let's try Buzz. Yeah, it's still. Oh no, went away. Okay, okay, great. So yeah, I mean it's analyzing it. You know, it's not very efficient. I would say. Okay, cool. So there you go. 80 reviews. You got confidence score. Community member, builder, developer, influencer. There we go. Okay. Not a scammer. Not a KOL manager. Okay. Okay. I want to at least get the graphic coming up because I feel like, no, dude, I've been South Asia. Okay, fair. Sorry. I do want to get the graphic, the spider graph to come up because it's kind of harder to visualize it. I think that the model is being kind of silly and giving like 0.1 for things that like he was never mentioned for. Let's add the spider graph in. I'm not going to say Nevo, or yeah, I am. Can we use a Nevo radar chart? Okay, cool. I'm feeling good about this now. It only took us 70 minutes to get to the point where we had some like really working code here. It should be pretty quick. And then we'll have what's nice about like a lot of these like charting libraries and stuff is when you implement them, even if you look at these, right? Like I didn't write the code for this, but you know, it's got a lot of really cool functionality that, you know, someone spent a bunch of time on. And you get all of it for free. By the way, these graphs are so cool. Like these are all her reciprocated ones. Shit, none of which are like high R for R people, but then you get like someone like this that reviewed her, you pull this up and you're like, huh, who is this person? And then you go look at their stuff and they have like a bunch of people that are like R for R. They've given a ton of reviews though, which is good, but they have zero. They don't have any reviews that are external for them that aren't reciprocated. So yeah, there you go. That's why they got 98%. It's always the fish, guys. I don't know what. Does anyone know what that PFP is? It's like a fish or something. I have no idea what that is. Okay. A bar chart. A bar chart's boring, man. We got to get something cool. It needs to be shareable. It needs to look cool. It needs to be like, oh, I'm legit. Like I want at the end of this in 20 minutes to get to the point where we can like someone can go use it at, well, okay, maybe not in 20 minutes. I got to deploy it somewhere, but where someone can use it and feel good about like sharing it. And yeah, I mean, like I don't think we're far from being able to do that. Okay, so it's getting all the charting right for Nevo. And it's going to try it. gotta go just as getting code. Yeah, sorry. It's like how it works with coding is you like put all this labor of love into it, and then like it's like the last 10 minutes are the most actualizing because you finally get there. Oh, but we're gonna try it, Buzz. Don't hang up yet. Let's at least see if it works for you. Where's the spider graph? There's nothing there. Oh, great. Okay, well, you can't see anything. It's not really that helpful. That was anticlimactic. I'm not seeing the spider graph at all. It's empty currently. Let me see, did it actually try to generate it? There's nothing like in it or anything. Huh, yeah. Weird. I don't see anything in the logs. I get kind of worried about using Nevo chart sometimes because it's pretty simple, but sometimes I've noticed that Cursor struggles with it. There are often a lot of like really good React charts out there. So like React spider chart, radar chart. I guess people don't call it cool stuff, but like yeah, we could easily just do something like this, and it's a lot easier usually. But I want to give Nevo one more chance. No, it literally it's not giving Nevo a chance. Oh, because Nevo and Dino don't really work well together. Okay, so wait, no, stop. Uh, why don't we use this chart instead of Nevo or a custom one? Boom. Okay, this should work totally fine. I'm gonna go start getting the like Dino deploy stuff working. I can probably do that in a new tab. Oops. Chat. Can we get this set up to deploy on Dino deploy? First step would be git commit init and configure to remote. So I'm just gonna, this is my, I'm gonna deploy it on Dino deploy so that other people can go use it. I need to set up the Git repository so that people can, so that we can actually push it to GitHub, and then from GitHub it goes to Dino deploy. I'll probably start setting that up over here off screen because it's GitHub. Can't look at my GitHub, man. So many private things in there. Okay, new project. Jeez. You can see this is the life where I've got it running twice over here. Ethos Twitter agent. We need a new repository. Why is this so annoying, man? New repository. I'm going to call it Ethos spider chart. Okay, did it finish? Let's try it out. Was ETH. Okay, I've got the new GitHub. I should close that. I don't know why it's not closing. It's annoying. Oh, look at that. Sick. Okay. So we've got something now. We've got Buzz on here. It's got confidence of him being a community member, a developer, and now, okay, cool. An alpha color I don't agree with. I don't think Buzz is much of an alpha color. Okay, so let's add a little bit of depth here. I do want to try it out on like someone else. Let's do Miro on the team. Miro's our designer. There we go. Let's try it out. Let's see what they say. Miro's a builder and an artist. Oh, yeah, fair. I mean, I wouldn't say that he's like an artist in Web3. He's a community member, but probably not much of a farmer. Oh yeah, KOL managers and art collectors, 10%. Okay. Okay, so I'm noticing there's not a lot of depth um, to the confidence scores. It's on a 0.1. It's all of them are on 0.1 increments. If the model doesn't have confidence in stuff like that person being a farmer, it should return 0, particularly if it was never mentioned. The artist category should not, yeah, let's just see what it says. So we can update our algo a little bit there. So again, like there's a lot that's happening here behind the scenes. Like it is going out to an LLM. It's giving all the reviews and vouchers to the LLM. It is pulling those back in and then giving people score based on those things. And so like, yeah, like this one's kind of interesting because, you know, Resang is pretty high on artists and business development, not so much on founders. So that makes sense. Not a scammer, which is good. I would say that there are a lot here. I feel like for a spider chart, we probably overloaded the spider chart a little bit too much. And I feel like we may have gone overboard on the spider chart, but that's okay. We'll keep doing it. Let's see how the models kind of change here. Again, I'm on another window going in, setting up Dino Deploy so you guys can go use it. New project. Ethos. What is this again? Spider graph. Spider chart. Let's see if I can get that deployed. Okay, so there we go. Now it's going to have a little bit more interesting things in it. So let's try Buzz again and see what it says. So this is, oh no, Buzz. It double clicked on me. Man, it keeps opening up. It's pretty annoying. Go away, damn it. It's taking out reviews that have been given a downvote. Yeah, we could definitely do that. That would be easy. Failed to analyze. Oh no. Okay, let's try mirror again. Might have screwed something up. Let's get rid of this. Let's see what our logs are showing. Yeah, it's failing to analyze. Oh, okay, cool. So looks like it's analyzing them correctly, but then failing at the end. We got another 5 minutes here. I really want to get this deployed. We have to end it on a high note. Yeah, I think color block, like with this this comment about taking out reviews that have been given a downvote. I think you're specifically talking about like downvote that the user gave themselves. It's a little bit more complicated because you have basically like 2 pieces of data. You've got like all of the reviews that the person had, and then you also have all of the reviews the person had, and then if that person upvoted or downvoted those reviews. And it's a little hard to get that data stitched together. It's not possible, but we could do it. I'm not going to do it right now though. Yo, that's just annoying. Let's see. So it's still, oh, there we go. Oh wow. So it really only went for a few spots on Miro's profile. Not much of a spider graph. What happened to the like? I guess because it's like slimly one thing and none of the others. That's interesting. So if we used like, let's just use mine as an example. It's a lot to analyze. Geez, it's not going to show. There it is. Yeah, let's try it. Oh, it's only going to do 100 reviews, 90 reviews, and 10 vouchers. Interesting. Okay, so it's only taking a sample right now. I don't know why it did that. But honestly, like, interesting results here, right? Like, don't talk about DeFi. People don't really mention me DeFi much or DGen. Come on, guys, I'm a DGen. But like 92% on founders, 87% on builders. You know, I think that's pretty decent. Let's look at ICO Beast. Again, all of this is usually about like continuing to analyze and refine and get better. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Reviews I received that I have downvoted. Yeah, right. Yeah, totally. When TG stream, I forgot that TG offers streaming, honestly. Yeah, like this is a pretty interesting one for ICO Beast because I wasn't really expecting him to show up. Oh, ICO Beast, a farmer. Community members 73%, DGen 82%. Yeah, I mean it's funny because it is doing a pretty good job of like, well, yeah, the founders one is like 0 because he's not a founder. So like a lot of this is actually doing a pretty good job, I would say now. Let's go look at like the leaderboard again and pull up a collab manager as kind of the finale here. Collab manager. Shit, where is it? Oh, here we go. Open the fridge. Let's pull up our boy, open the fridge, and see if his reviews agree. Ah, no, it changed. It changed it on the last second. Open the fridge. There you go. Okay, let's look at him and see how it works. It is interesting that it's only doing 100. I wish that it was doing more than 100 because I feel like you still don't get that much of. It's not that like comprehensive, especially for people that have hundreds of them. Yeah, so let's see. So he's showing up primarily as business development influencer. He is a KOL manager, so I'm surprised that he is only 67% there. Not much of a shit poster, community member. Okay, so I've got to run and get ready for this next stream with Thread Guy. I want to get this out there. I've been trying to do it on the side, and can you please commit and push this code? I should have this live after the stream with Thread Guy so that you guys can go play around with it. But it's not perfect, but it's pretty damn cool for like being able to do it in 90 minutes. I'm happy with the results of it. There's a lot of refining that we'd have to do here to make it really good. But I think yeah, let's like look at color blocks real quick before I completely log off. Or Scorp. The thing sitting there is driving me crazy. We fixed that, but like look at color blocks, right? Art collector, community member, a little bit of an influencer, and hey, you're an artist now. But like that's kind of cool, right? Like that's not perfect, but it's not bad. Like it picked up on the art collector part. Let's do Scorp really quickly if it works. If it shows 100% farmer, I'm sorry, Scorp. This is gonna drive me insane. The fact that it's just still there. All right, Scorp, you got DGen. Wait, DGen is over here now? I can't get rid of this. Go away. 100. So 82% DGen, 93% community member. Okay, good. Yeah, low percent farmer. I mean, we could do one more. Let's pull one of these guys in, the like R for R guys, see what happens. I still don't know what the PFP is. Some little fish guys. Actually, that one is a tongue. Come on, why Sam of Nada Army? Yeah, he didn't show up as a farmer, community member, influencer, builder. So I mean, there's lots of stuff that I'd want to refine. But what's cool is I can go actually put this on GitHub. And we can work on it together if you're interested. So it's pretty cool to see that we were able to do this in 90 minutes. I feel very good about that. So thanks again, everyone, for always showing up and participating. And I appreciate that you guys care to learn how to vibe code or care about Ethos. Hopefully it was helpful for you. I've been putting them on YouTube. I would encourage you to go try it. It's just so easy. It's if you're feeling any type of mental block about it, don't, because there's no reason to. Anyone can vibe code. Especially if you don't know anything about vibe coding, like it is incredibly easy. So, um, thanks again for showing up today. Thanks for everyone for jumping in on Time Fun too. It was great to see some people over there. Appreciate you all, and we'll do it again on Monday, and I think we'll do a Farcaster frame on Monday, and I'll try to get the Farcaster group in. So, thanks guys. We'll catch you around.